Okay, so today what I wanted to do is take it in three parts. Number one, worldly, no jhana or anything. What do we do in a normal day? All of us. Second, worldly jhanas, or rather, whatever called as anariya. A third one is ariya. So three parts. If possible, I'll complete all the three parts today, or at least two parts. In the next part, we'll take it on Monday. We'll first try attempting the anariya jhanas, which are as important as ariya. At least you need to know what is anariya. It's like a person who has never gone to a place and he keeps on either rejecting it or talking something about it. So first you should go to a place. Go to that place and see for yourself. And that would make sense rather than just commenting. So what I see in this group is that there's too much of commenting than actually doing it. Maybe we are obsessed with Buddha or we are obsessed with something, and that any obsession is a hindrance. And I see many of us are obsessed without really seeing what it is. And we are gone pretty much on some saying or somebody's opinion and all that. And hence, it's not good. In fact, there's a sutta where Buddha says, don't go by opinions. In fact, in Kalama Sutta, he says so. But anyway, we'll start with the first part. Now, can anybody sitting here be able to do anything from morning till evening without being in Samādhi? Can that be possible? I'm not talking jhana. Talking about general, like you want to drive a car, you want to go to the office, you want to do some vegetable cutting, you want to take a bath, you want to wear a dress. So, can that happen? That's the first question. Can there be a time when you say that I don't require Samādhi? Let's say you're in a kitchen and you're cutting vegetables. If you're not careful, you're going to cut your finger. So you should be in Samādhi to cut vegetable. I think all are silent.
We do samadhi is needed every time. Otherwise, how can we? It's a concentration. We giving the name differently. Instead of samadhi, we saying it's a concentration.
Whatever. So fine. Concentration. Without concentration, you can't do anything. Even if you want to cross a road, why that? Even if you want to go to a washroom, because you need to know you're going to the washroom. So it follows an entire process. So I'll tell you process one by one. Maybe that might help you in coming out of misunderstandings, whatever you have cultivated with regards to the Dhamma. So let's enter one by one. This is about world of senses. When we say world, it is about senses. And senses know how to enter into Samadhi. Otherwise, you can't take a flight. You can't even get up from your bed. Forget about anything else in this world. If you are able to operate on your own, you're able to walk, able to sit, able to stand, able to talk, able to eat. Think without samadhi it is possible, or without concentration it is possible, without mind coming together it is possible. And why are you so obsessed about getting into unheard? What does that mean? What exactly are you trying to achieve? And you're going behind something thinking that, oh, that's a good thing, everything else is bad. So first you should know what is there presently. Okay. Anyway, so first things first is that you should have interest. So that is the mula, means the root. So if you want to take bath, you should be interested. If you want to eat, you should be interested. If you want to ride, you should be interested. If you want to walk, should be interested. If you want to talk, should be interested. Even if you want to urinate, you should be interested. I mean, otherwise it will urinate on the place where you are sitting. So you should be interested to get up and go to the washroom. And you should do whatever has to be done. So you should be interested in removing your clothes. Right? So that's a basic thing. So Buddha says, Kim Mulaka. What's the root? Sabbe Dhamma, market, Sabbe, all Dhamma. Not Buddha Dhamma, not Arya Dhamma, not Anarya Dhamma. It's Sabbe Dhamma. So what's the root? The root is Chanda, interest. So if I want to do this, also I should be interested. If I want to do Lokiya jhana, that is Anarya jhana, so I should be interested. If I want to get into Hariya jhana, I should be interested. Supposing a person does not have any interest, what does he do? He will shoot himself. For that also he requires interest to kill. So can he kill himself? No. Can he live? No. So he can't live, he can't die. Because there's no interest. So that's a basic thing. Kim Mulaka, root. You cannot have anything to be done in this world or Lokuttara also without an interest. You need to be interested. The English translation in many of the suttas will talk a desire, but it's not really desire. Desire becomes raga. That's actually chanda is interest. Okay. So we require interest. So if you don't have interest, you can't do it. Anybody want to say something? I think somebody's microphone got switched on. Okay. Fine. Okay. So that's the first thing. Then the second thing. How is it possible? Okay, I'm interested. I require manasikara. So, kim sambhava sabbe dhamma. Manasikara sambhava sabbe dhamma. Manasikara means making up the mind. How to make up. So, what happens? One of the sense door takes predominance, becomes the leader, and the remaining follow it. So let's say I want to draw, the mind sense door takes over all the remaining sense door because drawing is part of the mind. Whereas if I want to get into archery, the body sense door takes predominance over that. I want to, let's say, hit a target, game. Like Shaniel has a lot of these games. Fruit Ninja. So if I have to keep on doing that, it means a body sense door has to take predominance over the eye sense door and share between eye sense door and the body sense door. So they both have to work in collaboration. So nicely collaborate. So they're manasikara, they're making up their mind how to do it. So then the visual and the bodily, they both are working almost like together. But what is happening is the consciousness is moving from here to here, here to here, here to here, here to here. So both are happening simultaneously. If the gap between the body sense door and the eye sense door, I commit mistake. Okay, there's a mistake. And when I do mistake, I lose points. Right? So now these two sense doors are focused. They are having an attention. They're having an observation. They are in complete awareness. As far as that game goes. Okay? So manasikara sambhava sabbe dhamma. How it is possible? Because of manasikara. Okay, and then we come to the third one. How does it start? Kim samudaya. How does it arise? How does this whole thing arise? Phassa samudaya. There should be contact between the senses and the sense object. The sense object being fruit ninja, which is seen by the eyes. And to cut off the fruit, you have to use the hand. So these two are going together. So phassa, contact. And contact is happening between two sense doors simultaneously, even though one sense door takes predominance. So what happens here is they both negotiate. Eyes will negotiate with the body, and the body will negotiate with the eyes. And then they say, you know what, when you cease, freeze, I will take over, I'll cut it. Then after you've done this, I'll give back the control to you. Then you tell me what next. So they keep on shuttling. How much samadhi is happening, you just check. Okay. So as soon as I keep on cutting the fruits fast, 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 it looks as though it is rehearsed. Yes, the consciousness has rehearsed it completely. So it knows how to seamlessly go here, come here, go here, come here. So it is samudaya, phassa. Then there is a feeling, vedana. Kim samo sarana sabbe dhamma. Vedana samo sarana sabbe. What turns back? It's the feeling. Why does it turn back? To see how things are coming. Because of the contact. So it turns back. So every time I cut the fruit and I give it to the eyes will look at what's next coming, tells the body, hey, you know what, this is coming. So it turns back. The feeling of losing or feeling of gaining is sukha or dukkha or adukha, sukha. These three feelings will arise. And for that, kim pamukha sabbe dhamma. Pamukha means the leader. Just like a project manager. Who is the leader? Samādhi pamukha sabbe dhamma. So they control, meaning the project manager controls the team, eyes and the body. They are controlled by Samādhi. Because they have an objective to meet. Objective is to win the game. That's the objective. Samādhi will come when there is an objective. Samādhi will not be there when there is no objective. What's the goal? You see, in worldly life, we put the goal. What's the goal? What we want to achieve? We put, I want to be an arhat in next 3 months, let's say. Or I want to become a vice president in next 6 months. Or I want to be a traveler in the next 6 months. That's my goal. Now what's the target? The target is the objective. How do you achieve the goal? So I set the target. 6 months is the target. So you have an objective. So when I have an objective, it means there is an object to be received at the end of it. There's something to be tangible, to be seen. And for tangibility, there is Samādhi. And once I create an objective, once I have a goal, I need to have an objective. And once I have an objective, I need to subdivide it for my achievement. So what do? I create a set of activities. Okay? And that set of activities will have not only intention, it will also have motivation. Why am I doing it? Why should I do it? So there is an activity. And those activity requires a task so that I don't forget. So I require task. So I can make reminders. I can put a calendar, whatever it is. I need something. I need a placeholder. I need to say, if I were to do this task, that will close the activity. If I close the activities, then I close the objective. If I close the objective, I meet the goal. So if I want to be an anagami or even an arhat or this or that, there should be an interest. Otherwise, not possible. That means I should leave everything out to do this. Chanda. Right? And then manasikar, I have to make up my mind. Otherwise, something else will come. I should push it aside. So, take this. In the same way, if I want to play the game for 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever hours, I require samadhi. There's a pamukha, the leader, project manager, or whatever you want to put, but that's a leader. Now, who is the adipati? Overlord, overseer, whether it's working or not. It is sati, mindfulness. If some friend comes, hey Vilas, how are you? And then I'm cutting this thing and I forget, oh my God, you came and disturbed me. In the same way, some thoughts can come and disturb. And it cuts samadhi. Once it cuts samadhi, it cuts the balance. Because samudaya, the feeling is gone. The feeling is gone. The phassa is gone. The phassa is gone. The manasikara is gone. The manasikara is gone. The interest is gone. It's gone. I lost the game. Okay. So, this one is required. Satadipataya sabbhe dhamma. Sati should be there completely. Okay. And then I require wisdom. How to play. Like if I'm a software developer, I need to have panya. Panya uttara sabbhe dhamma. Kim uttara sabbhe dhamma. Panya uttara. I need to have wisdom. Otherwise, I'll be a dumb fellow. So I need to know how to create algorithms if I'm a software developer. If I'm an architect, civil engineer, then I need to know how the building has to be done and drawings and all that. If I'm a mason, I need to have that. If I'm a game enthusiast, I need to have that. Why that? Even to clean the house, I need to have panya, wisdom. Even to prepare food, why that? Even to eat food, I need to have panya, wisdom. Otherwise, I don't know from what I started eating. It'll be dumb. I need to know how to cut the food. Panya should be there. You think panya means only lokuttara panya and everything else is not there. You require wisdom for everything. Even if you want to say she's my wife or husband or son or daughter or whatever, you should have panya. You should know how to discriminate between your child, which doesn't have any sticker, versus some other's child. You should have wisdom. Right? And that child, when you call its name, is going to respond. So it has wisdom. If I say Veena and she's going to look like what Veena? She should have wisdom. Oh, my name is being called. That's wisdom. So don't think wisdom means something different. Wisdom is required. So Buddha says, in sabbhe dhamma, all dhammas. So you require panyuttara. Then, King Sara Sabbhe Dhamma. What's the essence? Vimukti Sara Sabbhe Dhamma. Now here's a problem. Vimukti means liberation. I want liberation. Yes, you're having liberation every moment from the particular task. You're completing the task. So you're done with the task. Then there's a space. Then the next task. Then there's a space. then the next task, right? Even while eating, you finish, then the saliva enters inside, there's a small break, and you take the next morsel. That's Vimukti Sara. You're doing it. That gap between two tasks is Vimukti. What Vimukti are you talking about? Where are you searching Vimukti? That's exact spot. That's a sweet spot. When one task ends, another task begins. That space between two tasks is when Vimukti is. Walking, when you lift your first leg, it's in air. You're balancing on one leg, and that is also lifted. There's a space. And that's the time you get Vimukti. So what Vimukti then? This is all Dhamma. Sabbe Dhamma. Okay, so that Vimukti Sara. Sara is essence. Essence is Vimukti. Kim Oghada Sabbe Dhamma. Oghada. Here is the fun part of it. Amata Oghada Sabbe Dhamma. You might wonder, deathless. I have never experienced deathless. What stupid. In breath, stop. Out breath, stop. Those two stops, you are deathless. That's exact deathless. Okay. Now the last one. Kim Paryosana Sabvedam. Why are we taking this effort? Why? What makes us to take this effort? Nibbana Paryosana Sabvedam. In that deathless, there is no perception and there is no feeling. So when you're completely in a thing where you lose yourself, you are in Nibbana. Because the self is dead. Got the point? So you're doing it all the time. Anyone here would like to argue with me or have a nice battle? Yes, Sergio.
So you mean to say we're seeking the sensual pleasure for Nibbana's sake also and only?
There's nothing called sensual pleasure. You're just doing the Dhamma. You can put a sticker called as sensual. Right? It's just a thing. Now tell me, any one of you sitting here, you have any concerns of seeing this way to begin with, because it is mulaka, rooted. It's got nothing to do with what you feel. It's you're doing exactly this. So if you want to say I don't, then I need to know what exactly you do then. I've not even come to the jhanic. Just started our usual life, everyday life. Anyone, before I go to the next section? Convinced or confused? All good? Yeah, Shaniel, I know you are saying all good, but the remaining half, or more than 75%, are not even on video. So I can't even see their eyes to say, oh yeah, they have understood. Anyway, if you say I don't have anything, I take it. But please be clear, it's Sabbe Dhamma, not Buddha Dhamma, not Christian Dhamma, not Hindu Dhamma, not worldly Dhamma, etc., etc. It's Sabbe Dhamma. All. They have the same nature. Irrespective of whatever you do, they have the same nature. Whether you do the Lokuttara kind or Lokiya kind or this kind or that kind, they all have the same nature. No difference. As far as the nature goes, in my mind, I may take it in different way. Yes, sir. You.
So I guess one conclusion from that is everyone's seeking liberation in some way, whether they know it or not.
There's nothing to seek. That's the reason Buddha says it's giving up than taking it. When I say seeking liberation, that means I want something and you will never get it. Because they all have the same nature. You can't dream a different nature. Like, interest is primary. Tell me, interest is not primary. You can't. Should have an interest to walk. You should have interest to sit. You should have interest to stand. You should have interest to sleep. You should have interest to go to the washroom. Interest to take a bath. Interest to wear a dress. Interest not to wear a dress also. I want to stand naked. There should be interest to stand naked. Right? You just can't stay naked without having interested in that. That means even to kill yourself, there should be an interest. That's rooted. That's in the root. You can't do anything. There's no you to do that. If you're done with this, then we'll go to jhana. Any questions here? Yes, Archana.
Summary is whatever activities we are going through for whole day. We are in a samadhi. It may not be a true samadhi, but we are engaged.
There's nothing called as true samadhi. There's nothing called as untrue samadhi. It's only samadhi.
Right.
That's all. So we are adding prefix, suffix and all that and making our life more miserable than what it is. It's only samadhi. There's nothing called as, oh, this is worldly samadhi. Then what do you want? Out of the world? Then you go to a mental asylum where they give you out of the world experience. Yes, Mrityunjay, tell me.
But Amatam portion that I could not catch, sir.
When you do something, there is a space to the next task.
Okay.
That is when you have deathless experience. Every moment you have a deathless experience, but you don't. If you take a breath, in breath, stop, out breath, stop. In between those two breaths, you have deathless. And you don't know. In the same way, you ate. Inside, you are not taking the next morsel. There's a space. There's deathless, amata. Because you are not breathing also. At that moment, no breath is there, no thoughts are there, nothing is there. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, Chirag.
So I had one question. Let's say lately, I've been trying to note my mindfulness, how mindful I am from moment to moment. And let's say what I've noticed is, even for example, when I'm looking at the screen, I think there are several moments, where, let's say the consciousness blanks out, or I can't even remember. Let's say if I'm looking at you continuously, right? It's not very continuous. There's like missing frames, if you want to call it that. So is that being unconscious, or is that deathless? If that question makes sense.
No, there's blankness is there. The blankness is literally unconscious. But even if you are conscious, there is a gap between two events. You should be watchful. Then you can see the gap between two events. Every event has a gap. And that's the reason we go into, even if we were to talk, there is a pause. And then again, you talk, again pause, again talk, again pause. So there's always that sinusoidal wave, right? So then it goes up and comes down, and again goes up and comes down. So it is not something which is continuous. It breaks and then again connects, and breaks and again connects, and breaks, again connects. So during those two gap can be milliseconds or whatever it is, it doesn't matter, but there is a gap, and those gaps are literally deathless.
So let's say one question I have is, since it seems to me that, in those gaps, when you're deathless, you don't even perceive anything. Is that true? Or do you perceive?
Nothing, no perception, no feeling.
So let's say the perception disappears in those gaps. So how do you even know that the gap exists? Is it because of the discontinuity, that sort of, jarring discontinuity that happens between one moment to another?
Yes, because you have a distraction in that gap. So it connects back. If you are able to see, you'll able to see gaps. So that's the reason a person who does good jhana will able to see a disconnect, because there is a frame and the next frame comes, and then there's a frame and then the next frame comes. So you're stitching the frame by frame sequence. And that's what a jhanic is. So why enter into jhana is to see this gap. Why not in jhana is because you don't have to see the gap. But that doesn't mean it didn't exist. Only through jhanas you are going to come to know of it.
Right. So let's say one last question. Out of, let's say, 1 to 8 jhanas, in which jhanas do you start experiencing there's something called this gap?
Five. 4 it starts and it concludes at 8. Now, there's nothing called a source of interest, Shreyas. Maybe you should ask the Buddha. Because that sutta starts from there only. So there's another question. Is the sound of silence, the sound of deathless. There is no sound at all. There's nothing, no thing as anything, including sound. Yes, Chirag, go ahead.
So one more question. I think maybe this is more of a beginner question, but let's say you were talking earlier about consciousness that's shuttling between different senses, right? So I think at some point you mentioned it's predominantly occupied in one sense, but is it like predominantly occupied in one sense, or is it like completely only in one sense at a given point in time? So let's say either it's in the eyes, either it's in the smell, either it's in the mind.
I just now said, right? I just now said that they have to negotiate. All the six senses, they will negotiate on the bandwidth. So it depends on the interest. Like I told about that, this what is the fruit ninja game? Eyes and body has to maneuver. So the consciousness shifts from here to there, there to here to there to there. It keeps on shifting. So it learns to move between two sense doors. So the six senses will have a meeting and they decide on how do they want to do it based upon the interest. So they do a manasikara. So they decide, they come together.
And let's say if we were to consider just one frame, would you say it's in multiple senses or it's only in one sense?
All. The entire thing is a frame.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Shreyas, it's just like you have the threading, multi-threading. So the thread which takes the highest takes the precedence. Morning. So that doesn't mean that the remaining don't take it. They do take it, but they are the next priority. So who decides on the multi-threading? The senses themselves. They negotiate based upon the interest. So Chirag, since you also love to play games, you can look at it. You can really see what is making it up. That how are you playing? Eyes versus the body. You can see it based upon the interest. If the body loses interest, it gets fatigued, so you do mistake. Because the entire consciousness will come to the eyes. But there's no coordination now. This disoriented. So you lose the game. Like you take tennis as an example. He's hitting a ball at 130 kilometers per hour. If he's serving, his eyes and his gait, that is the body, should be so synchronized that it predicts, oh, if ball is coming here, he's going to hit there. So three sense doors are operating: mind sense door, body sense door, and eye sense door. They three will negotiate for consciousness. So when he is holding the ball like this and hitting it, he sees. So the eye sense door then gives immediately to the body sense door. And the body sense door then gives to the mind sense door, saying that it's yours. Now you do the strategy. Within that fraction of a second, it makes the strategy and gives back to the body sense door. So the body moves faster and gives it to the eyes. So it's negotiating between three sense doors, and the other three sense doors are not using any resources. That is the tongue sense door, there's nothing to eat. Smell sense door, nothing to smell. Ear sense door, nothing to hear. Yeah, go ahead.
By body sense door, do you mean the one involved in contact? That's what I'm aware of.
Body, the whole body has to move, right?
Right.
Otherwise, it will be standing there only.
Okay. Yeah, because the five senses are, eyes, ears, let's say eyes, ears, like smell, hearing, mind, and touch, right? So that's why I was thinking touch is the
Touch means what?
It's the body.
It's
Is
the
it-
body. So when we say touch, it is touching something on the ground. It is touching something. It has to do, right? Otherwise, let's say a bus is coming and hitting you. What will you do? You'll stand there. Yes, you would stand there if the consciousness doesn't say to the body, "Hey, move." So it has to then give it to the eyes. Eyes is seeing bus is coming. The body will not move. Unless the consciousness comes to the body, it cannot move. It will just stand there. So if the body has to move, the eyes have to give it to the mind, saying that, hey, is that something I can stay? And say, look, come on, move. So that gives the body then gets the consciousness to move. So the body consciousness pushes off the body and the body falls. Let's say the body falls and the pain is in the body, but addressed by the remaining sense doors, which is mind sense door, eye sense door. So I will see, oh, the blood is coming, right? Am I hit badly? No, it just, then the body sense door will do like this, and now you verbalize it. The mind sense door verbalizes it. So you get speech. Say, that idiot, he could see it, blah, blah, all that. You have to watch this. For that you require samadhi. Otherwise you can't do anything. Yes, Aryu.
Yeah, I guess maybe I had a misconception, but I thought that all the six senses are capable of kaya sankhara. So I thought the eye can just command the body to move, something like that. That's my.
Please understand through Mahatanha Sankhya Sutta, where he explains six consciousness. They are separate. And that's like an idiot, like what you asked. Sati asked the same question. Isn't it one consciousness which moves from this to another? Okay. Why he got blasted out from Buddha was that it is six consciousness, because you have got six individual senses. And each sense is itself a mind. Yes.
So in that case, I'm wondering, when you say the eye sense door is putting out a kaya sankhara, what exactly?
Eye sense door is not doing kaya sankhara, my dear friend. It is, I think you have thoroughly misunderstood the whole thing. Kaya means what? Body. Kaya sankhara means in breath, out breath. Your in breath, out breath changes based upon seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling. Have you seen that with every action you take, the breath changes? Yes or no? Yeah. So that is the reason Buddha says it is kaya patibaddha. That means it is connected to the body. But eyes, like I said, the bus is coming. It's coming at a faster. You're head on. If you don't move, the bus will hit you. So who sees first? The body sees first or the eye sees first? Eyes. So where is the consciousness now? In the eye or in the body? Eyes. Then can I move the body? Tell me. Is the eye capable of moving the body? No, it can't. It can't move the body. It can sense the danger and inform. That means in the brain, there is a change. So then the heartbeat will increase. So then the consciousness comes to the body sense door. And before it enters body sense door, it enters in the mind sense door to look at what it is. So the mind sense door will then say it's a danger. It comes to the body sense door and the body moves. It happens quickly, so we don't know how it happens. Yes, Adu.
I guess I wouldn't say that I moved the body, but I thought the intention to move the body was generated by the eye sense door. I thought by seeing it, it says the intention is dodge. So it creates the intention to move the body.
All the six of them create Chetana, but can the eye move the body? Try it out, my dear friend. Please try. Don't argue, try. Try it, right now try it. Try to move the body with your eyes. Eyes can only see, it can't do anything. See, first and foremost, you need to understand what each can do. Eyes can see, ears can hear, nose can smell, tongue can taste, body can touch, mind can conceptualize. They have 6 different functions. They play 6 different roles. If that were to be true, you should be able to make eyes eat. So take a morsel of food and put it in your eyes, let it eat. No, try it out. It's always good to try. I've been repeating this so many number of times. Try it.
I don't think I'm saying the eye is moving the body. I was just saying the intention was generated by the process.
Intention is created by all the 6. Who senses the danger? The eye senses the danger? Yes, it does sense the danger. So what does it do? It cannot move the body. It informs the mind sense door. The mind sense door cannot move the body either. So it requests the body sense door, hey, move. So the remaining 5 senses, that is, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and mind, will give a complete ownership to the body, and the body moves. Now you might ask me a question, who says so? Well, then you would have to have a sutta reference. We have covered lot of times. Chappana Upama Sutta, 6 animals. Just see that. One of the animal will run. They take the precedence, right? They have different places or different domain and different grazing area. So each one will take its own place. So eyes will only look at seeing an object coming. That's all it can do, and it can caution. It has to negotiate. Let's say a girl is coming instead of a bus. The eyes are hooked onto the girl. But without the acceptance of the body or all the other sense door, eyes cannot go and touch that girl. So what it does, it negotiates with the mind, saying that, hey, that girl looks pretty, what do you think? And the prettiness is in the mind. So it refers to the database and sees pretty. Okay, and it compares and says, yes, it is indeed pretty. So these 2 guys know for the other sense door, saying that, you know what, we need to pick that up. What do you think? And the body says, what is in for me? And ear will say, what is in for me? And tongue will say, what is in for me? And say that, hold on, we will give something to you. And the nose will say, what is in for me? So, eyes and mind will say, let's go near. So as they go near, as this body goes near, she's sweating profusely and she's not put on a good perfume. Then what happens? The nose will say, I don't want it. Sorry, I'm out of this game. If you want, you enjoy. I'm not here. And then the mind will say, he's right. Even I can't stand his smell. So the eyes will say, hey, come on, guys, I want to see that girl. No, sorry, better luck next time. And the body will say, you didn't allow me to touch next time. So the body is dissatisfied, mind is dissatisfied, ear is dissatisfied, nose is dissatisfied, tongue is dissatisfied, only eye is satisfied. They slap to the eye saying that next time, be careful. We will not support you, okay? And this happens. I'm not joking. Try it out. It's fun. That's the reason there's no person sitting out there. It is only these guys fighting around for the consciousness. So the consciousness doesn't have anything to say yes or no. It just goes there. It says, okay, you wanted it, you didn't want it, okay, come on, come back. So the body is now back. So next time the eyes will see another girl, good looking. Now it again does the same thing. It's habituated. It says, hey, there's a nice girl. What do you think? So then comes to the mind sense door. Mind will again look at a database and say, yes, it's beautiful. The word beautiful is there. Correct. Agreed. So let's go near. This time, the woman has put on the perfume what the nose wanted. So now eyes have given permission, mind has given permission, nose has given permission. Now the body will say, hey, you guys promise me, right? I'm going to get something. I want to touch that girl. I don't know how you're going to do it, but convince. So now mind will verbalize to the girl, hey, you so nice, where do you stay, and this, that, blah, blah, all that, some stories. And then after so much of effort, that lady or girl will agree to touch. So that time the body sense door will enjoy the touch. The touch. Then the tongue will say, what's about me? You guys have forgotten about me. Don't worry, we'll take you out for lunch or dinner or whatever. And so then we have a dinner. And the tongue will say, tasty food. But I want to taste her. Hey, wait, that takes a lot of time. First, let's have only this restaurant kind of thing. So this is how it works. So much of effort you have to put. Okay, so I will also end for today, and I think we'll meet on Monday with the jhanic thing. I don't think so we could ever enter into jhana today. Yes, Chirag, go ahead.
Yes, just one more question. So let's say there's all this negotiation that happens between different senses, right? But let's say there are two senses, and they both have contradicting or contrasting interest in pursuing a different sense object. What determines which one dominates in getting what they want?
It depends on their nature. That's what you have to read, that 6 animals, how they negotiate. They negotiate. Yes, Shinil, bye-bye. So they negotiate. And you have to test it out yourself between two conflicting things. They negotiate. Eyes will negotiate with ear. Something will negotiate with something. Like say there's some good music which is coming and you are seeing something and that music is coming. There's a negotiation between the eyes and the ear. And they both send message to the mind, which is nothing but, let's put brain. So it searches the database and looks at it, which is better. The seeing is better, hearing is better. Then it will negotiate with the eye saying that you've been seeing for long. Let's give it to the ear. This is a very nice song which is coming. So even though it is remote coming, it just picks up that sound and the consciousness goes there and picks it up. And the mind starts playing it. So you start humming the song. Whatever is coming there, you start humming. And it becomes so enamored by it that you want to play the song yourself. So then you negotiate, the ear negotiates with the body sense door. saying that let's go and put that cassette or CD or some wherever it is. So you start searching for that music and you get that. You take effort to put it. Then you play. Then you sit. Then the tongue sense door says that what's in it for me? Let's have it some drink. It can be coffee, it can be tea, it can be juice, it can be wine, it can be whiskey, it can be whatever, depending upon that song. Right? And then you just sit. You means the body sits relaxed and the ear is enjoying the sound. Eyes have no role to play. Nose has no role to play. The tongue has some role to play. The mind is adding up everything or the entire experience. And now you are enjoying it. That means it had all of them. That means rooted, that is interest, made up my mind to everything. That's the basis. Yes, Ariu.
Yeah, I think I've heard such example quite many times, so I understand how these 6 animals are pulling. But one thing I learned today is that they all have to go through the body eventually to do something. I thought these animals can just give command and they just move.
No, all the 5 senses are there in the body only. So where else they have to do it? In fact, the whole face has all the 5 senses. If you've seen, in every person, why do we want to save our face? Because 5 senses are here. When we say face is the index of the mind, people think mind means only one sense door. No, you can see the eyes, you can see the nose twitching, you can see the tongue. If the person is tense, you'll be doing like this and all, and then here, and his face or her face will bleach out based upon whatever is happening. So the entire face, let's say he gets flushed out, so there's one color, it gets whitened out. If the fear is there, something else will come. So all happens in the face. So if you know how to read the face, you have understood the person. And that's the reason, I keep on saying, I require the person's eyes to penetrate and see what is he doing. That expression I can read. So I can make out whether it's faking or real. Yes, Chirag.
I think maybe that's why some people don't come on camera, because you can see what they're up to.
Maybe. Maybe. But when I see them face to face, I can understand, I can see them much clearly because there is nothing they can hide. At least on this camera, the camera is not that good quality and all that. Maybe I'll not know. So, but when I see them.
Oh, no, that's not the reason. The reason is because we are not properly dressed.
Okay.
We are not presentable.
No, I was just joking anyway. Yeah. Maybe I need to apply a blur filter next time, so it's even harder to see my eyes.
No, I've already seen. So I don't require another set of checking on you. Anyway, good. So let's meet then on Monday. Friday, tomorrow he's not there. So we can meet tomorrow for meditation if you want. Otherwise, we'll meet on Monday.
So meditation session will be tomorrow?
Yes.
The longer. Okay.
We can do 1 hour meditation tomorrow. Why? What happened, Ariu? You become an owl.
He's showing his eyes.
I think he accidentally applied a filter.
Yeah, harder to read.
Oh, okay. I see what she's doing. Okay.
So you're trying to try out. Yes, Anusha, go ahead. You wanted to say something?
No, I'm laughing at Arius.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, so one thing you need to know is your face includes all the 5 senses. If you didn't know this long. So you can see the face, you know everything. If you know how to read faces, you have understood the person's mind.
I guess by looking at the face, you're also looking indirectly at the 5 senses.
Not
Whatever the-
indirectly, directly.
Right.
What do you mean indirectly? Directly. And that's the reason you will come to know the stare.
Okay,
You're-
my
you're
mom
seeing-
has. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead. Your mom wanted to talk.
Yeah, actually, I have one question.
Yeah, Haji, bataiye.
Yeah, so I want to learn how to read the face.
Then you have to come to Bangalore.
Yeah, actually, I'm planning to come after
Come.
coming back from USA.
Okay, come.
Yeah. Actually, I was always telling to Chirag that I'm very afraid to on be video call with Vilas sir. Because you can read us. Even I think we are afraid with the Shaniel also now.
No, Shaniel, I think maybe a few months, and then he will also be able to read, right?
Yeah, he should be able to read. Yeah, by October he should have that. Yes, Anusha.
Yeah, I am also like Chirag's. Maybe you should give us a lesson of how to read minds.
No, first you come to Australia. I hope you're coming. Okay.
I'll try for sure.
No try. Try means you already failed. Yes, Veena, go ahead.
At first, what is the use in reading the mind? We have to get liberation. That is important. We can't change others, however. Ultimately, we have to get liberation. That's it.
I just now spoke for 1 hour. I don't know what you understood. You are already liberated. What more liberation you want? Look at Harry. He's put on a nice looking cap. So, Veena, all the 10 of them, what we just now spoke, is there in everyday life. Okay. Now we have to do jhana to get beyond that. That's all. Okay. All right. Done for today.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.